like that interdimensional DMT travel, that is something that I wish more people would start researching. I mean, there were, various documents from the CIA, I believe, talking about remote viewing. If that is possible, to be able to see things even though you're not there, and if it's possible to share in that experience with somebody else, then that's an awful big thing to not consider when we're talking about creating a technologically advanced civilization where we're going to have a lot of algorithms doing things for us. Because if that's something that doesn't get trained, what is going to be left of humanity? What is the purpose of us existing if everything's done for us? If all of us are going to be like that Wallace and Gromit skit when Wallace goes to breakfast, he has like this machine that, wakes him up, pushes the bed out of the way, like puts the cheese on his crackers, gives it to him. If that's our future, what's the point of living? What's the point of doing anything if everything is done for us?
Exactly. And so we got to mail bombs to the university.
Finally, we come back to what you're saying.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. If he was given, for those who don't know, Ted Kaczynski was a volunteer for the MK Ultra experiments. Is that right, Verse? Can you confirm that?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay, Verse confirmed, so we're good. Okay, so he was given loads of LSD, and that did something to his mind. I don't know exactly what happened, but my theory is that if you are exposed to that much psychedelics, like it opens up a rift into another dimension, then you start to realize, oh my God, we're capable of this. Then when you're back here, you're thinking, man, we're not really going to be able to get to the next level if we're going to be trapped by all this tech around us. I'm going to try as much as I can to stop this from occurring.
He's had like a religious experience, and you're saying there's a fight between that embodied religious experience and the tech.
Exactly, but if he were to actually admit that in his manifesto, people would think he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can't have that.
Yeah,
he had a lot of other things.
But I think that rightfully so. I mean, because of the reason that somebody could be feeling that they're experiencing that could just be their own thoughts taken to an extreme, and somebody else taking LSD could have a very different view of some super advanced technological world that is having a huge benefit for humanity.
Where does your mind stop and the other dimension begin? There was a Buddhist quote, I think it was from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, when they were talking about how when you die you see all these various angry gods around you, and how all those gods, they do say these gods, they're all in your mind. Even though they're real, they're still in your mind, meaning that the mind is not yours only. It's like the shared mind of all of consciousness, but it's still just all in your mind. At least that's the way that I interpret it. Yeah, so Terence McKenna, he visited a Tibetan Lama, and he asked the Lama, after the Lama took DMT,
well, what did you think?
And the Tibetan Lama told him that these are the lesser lights of the Bardo, and that you can go no further after this. If you go further, then you're going to be gone. That's it. You're going to be trapped forever. You're not going to be able to escape. To me, that's not a great sign about what exactly these DMT entities are. I don't think that we should be in the business of taking drugs in order to experience them, because kind of like taking the Elon Musk Neuralink, the drugs, I think, are a crutch. They give you access to something without you having earned it. And this is why I am very much against using drugs as opposed to meditating. So, I don't know. Verse, where does your stance when it comes to psychedelics?
I don't do them anymore because I don't need to be any more schizophrenic. So I kind of leave that. I leave that to the past verse. But from my opinion on what you see, these machine elves or demons or whatever, I always have the kind of merger of Mass Effect, where we're bringing machine AI aliens in through another dimension so they could take over, combined with visions of demons. I'm oh, that's kind of all the same story. You kind of befriend these little interdimensional entities, and you're oh, they're all in my head, and they kind of give you ideas, and then next thing you know, all these ideas kind of culminate at the end of civilization, where we bring them forth. It's part of me thinks that the urge of Elon or somebody to generalize AI, and the urge to be on DMT to talk to the machine elves is the same urge, and then the machine elves want a avatar in the AI. That's my schizo theory, but